Waggle taggle. Right now, there's a lot of movement in the campground. Water has receded quite a bit. It's not nearly as high as it was earlier. As we go down through here, the picnic tables are sticking out a lot more. And here's that ditch again I gotta watch out for. You can start to see that the bank is starting to reappear. This was all flooded over from at least this point up through. I know from the fence area. Hello. On up through past the dock a little bit. This was water flowing over it, not super deep. The water was in the middle, probably like an inch or two. As you can see, we have some heavy-duty rutting going on here. I don't think it's as severe as the last flooding because it wasn't like continuous days of rain, but we have some. Oh, this rut's pretty deep. Yeah, it is. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't want to drive through this. Not at all. So, still not as deep as the last time it rutted out from the last flood. The road looks a little messed up back there, but it looks pretty good. Last time the road was terrible. Truck just went through there, bumping through. You can see it really washed away again. So it did leave some damage for sure. Okay, I'm approaching the dock and you can see the water has really gone down because the water was running over the road here at this point. So it was here running up over here, so that's how deep it was right in this area. And you can see the edge of the dock right there. It has, because it's slanted, you're looking at a 1/4 inch and it just gets pretty deep quick as you would walk out there. So trash cans are out a little bit more. It would help if I would pay attention to what I'm looking at. Definitely has dropped tremendously. If you look out on the lake, there is a little signposty thing. That's the end of the peninsula. It is still underwater. I want to give props to our maintenance man. It's usually Barry or Jerry on the tractor fixing up the areas that have been rutted out. There was a stream going through here. They filled the rut back in. Barry's on the tractor this morning, so they are awesome. Okay, back at the golf course, I told you we were missing some of the holes on the mini golf course. Well, here they are. The water has receded and is revealing them. As you can see, there's a little post there. That is to another one that is basically, with the exception of the board at the end, completely submerged yet. That is how high the water still is in the lake. But I am able to walk on a couple of the holes that have not been, well, I shouldn't say have not, I should say they have drained off now. So that's good. And we're seeing the picnic tables over here. And I can actually walk this way because the water has receded. Earlier I did not walk this way because the water was way up and it was not conducive to walking through this area earlier. So we had to stop and make a walk around to the pool the other way. The picnic tables are back out. The dock is still floating because the water level is high, but as you can see the ramp part that you walk out onto the dock where the railings are. That was completely submerged earlier. Earlier, this area, I'm at the foot of the cabin where the water was up into the grass here. The water has since receded back, not quite into the perimeters of what the lake usually is, but it's back looking more like a lake, real close to the edge of the road. It will recede because you can see the picnic tables are still underwater a little bit, so it still has a little bit of receding to go, but far cry from this morning. Again, we have some water that is still running down through. The lake is still backed up into the wooded area. It hasn't gone back into its banks here, but we can actually walk up to about here, which earlier this was underwater. The bridge has, I don't know if that is showing up in the video or not, but I can actually see the bottom of the bridge on the other side where it's higher. So it's still flooded, so I'm hoping that the kids do not go running around in the water down at this point, because you don't know what you are running into at this point. So this is a lot less water than there was this morning. Creek isn't back up to its, I shouldn't say back up to, I should say the creek isn't down to the level that it normally is, but earlier this area where I'm walking was completely underwater, and there's still water running down from B Loop. You can see it running down the sides with the rocks, but you can see the amount of water coming out there is a much lower volume.